You have made the, I have to imagine, a very difficult decision to switch from twin turbos to a centrifugal supercharger. You partnered with the guys, Dustin, Roger, and the gang at Hart's Charger to strap one of those bad boys to the front of the hot rod, stick a set of zoomies on it. So just take us through the thought process a little bit, and then we'll go through the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, so I mean, I was always a huge fan of Pro Modified, and when I started to like learn about Pro Modified and be around it, there were no turbo cars at all. Like there wasn't one, and it kind of bothered me, to be honest. So when Mark came out with his car, before his car even ran, there was a lot of naysayers like, "Oh, turbos don't work in Pro Mod. It sucks. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. Whatever." So, anyways, as soon as I started to see Mark have success with it, I was like, "Okay, I can have a Pro Mod because the only way that I know to have a Pro Mod, it would have to have twin turbos on it." So Mark let me make a pass in his car, which I still can't believe he let me do that.
That was crazy. I remember that.
That was super
I just
crazy.
forgot about it until this moment. I'm like, oh yeah.
I forgot about it until the other day. It popped up in my Facebook memories because he jokingly was like, "Yeah, bring your suit," like 10 times. And then one day I just brought my suit and I was like, "Hey, so I brought my suit." He's like, "Yeah, get in. We'll make a run." But anyways, so he let me make that run, and I like pretty much almost immediately following that ordered a car, and I loved it. And honestly, like I'm really sad to go away from the turbos, but to run at the level that we need to run with the Winter Series, the competition that exists there, the turbocharger can run the numbers, but it's very difficult to be consistent. And I don't have the passes and the data and the testing that these guys have under their belt. Like, you look at Jimmy Taylor, you look at Mark Mickey, those guys have probably thousands of runs on both of their cars. And I've probably got 60 total. So I just quickly realized that I can't compete on the level that I want to with the turbos. And it would be easier, which I hate to say that, but it would be easier to make a shot at it with the centrifugal charger. So we literally, before we left the Snowbirds, we had the Hart's Charger in the trailer. And literally since then, we've been working on it, and we're going to fire it up today, and we're going to try to sneak over to BMP and test it on Friday and Saturday.
It's exciting, man.
It was crazy. You're like, at the end of the race, I wasn't really paying much attention, and you were like, "That thing's gonna have Hart's Charger on it for the next race," and I'm like, "Oh,
yeah."
he's just mad right now.
No, I saw what I needed to see, man. It's that level of consistency and the performance is hard to beat, and it's either for me, I'm just a boosted guy, so it was either a centrifugal charger or a screw charger, and the centrifugal made more sense. I have a good relationship with the Hart's guys. My car is better suited for that. It'd be easier to swap over. And even then, like, it doesn't seem like it's not enough time because it's it's a little over. It's like a month and a half. But with holidays and everything, like, it's been hard to get it done.
But you're not the only one, too. And I don't know if I'm maybe breaking news or is supposed to say this, but okay, I won't get myself in trouble. But you're not the only one that's making this switch right now, and we're going to see a couple other cars that have made this.
Wes Buck show. We need some breaking news, man.
All right.
Screw it.
So Chris Thorne has made the same switch. We know about Jay Cox. He already has made this switch and made it public. So there's a handful of guys out there that are moving the same direction. But from our standpoint, we want all combinations to be competitive. I'm a fan of the turbo combination. I think it's badass. I love it. Wes the same way.
I'm gonna miss it.
And so, do you think? I mean, we're not seeing the end of turbo in Pro Mod, are we? Like,
no,
or is it just this ebb and flow that we see right now? And it's just the Hart's Charger obviously performed well at Snowbirds and is running well and everything. Things they ebb and flow. I mean, this is not going to be a permanent thing.
The difficulty of the turbo is that when it runs well, it runs so well. Right. And what comes from that is weight. So now it's honestly just gotten to a point where they're so heavy that it's hard to like make them consistent. It's hard to get the turbo car, to short track even close to what these other combinations short track, just because the nature of the turbocharger and how it comes on and how it spools and so on. But I don't know. We may even have to revisit it. I think the best thing for the turbocharger would be to have even smaller turbos than we already have and run at a lighter weight. But that's going to be a drastic change, and that's something that, you know,
it's going to work. It's going to take work.
We've talked about it. We've
Sanctioning
talked
bodies
about
will
that.
have to come together. Yeah, but like I almost feel like we need less power and less weight. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things. Nobody wants to do it, but it's going to eventually have to happen. But once it does, I think that's the best chance for turbos to compete.
I agree, but it seems like turbo, like going bracket racing right here, he's asking in an absolutely unlimited fashion, can any power adder outrun a twin turbo? And it seems like the twin turbos, like if you talk to these guys, you talk to Mark Mickey, you talk to Jimmy Taylor, and you talk about putting smaller turbos on it, that doesn't sit well with. They want that power, and they look at themselves more as, you know, wanting to go after those unlimited records or whatever. But I do agree with you that if we're going to run, you know, 4 rounds of qualifying, 5 rounds of eliminations, for that thing to be consistent, it's gotta the power, the ultimate power maximum has to come down, because at its maximum, it's literally, I mean, in another stratosphere from these other.
It's like, it's like pretty much unlimited horsepower at this point.
Right.
But in the turbo technology improves so rapidly, right?
God.
I mean,
to think about the turbo technology, even from when Mark Mickey came out with his car to now, which was like, what, 2 or 3 years? You know, we've gone from a 98 millimeter turbo to an 88 millimeter turbo at almost the same weight. And these guys are running the same times and the same mile an hour. Because every time that we take some turbo away from them, they figure out a way to make the turbo better, which is great. And it's awesome that the turbo has that ability to like be messed with and redesigned and worked and all that, but it makes it almost impossible to put a good set of rules on it, in my opinion. And I just don't have the time. But like you guys were saying right before I came on the show, these races are really difficult to run. And I don't think that you can really grasp that from like the live stream or what you see at home. We can have a Snowbird Outlaw Nationals where it's like literally different conditions every single round. And when I say different, I mean like drastically different, from the temperature, track temperature, the DA, and the turbo is like the hardest thing to tune to begin with. And when you have to have a completely different tune-up every single time you go up there, it's damn near impossible. It's an educated guess, but it's very difficult. Where it just seems like the centrifugal chargers and even the nitrous car, like, you know, Halsey, he freaking runs good no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you make a interesting point, because we've just seen this thing ebb and flow. Like, I remember there was a point in time where I routinely said on this very program that if you were going to build a pro mod, you would build a twin turbo Hemi deal with a 400, and like that Troy Coughlin was winning damn near every race under the sun. Jose, you know, there's been so many guys run well with that combination, and it became like a de facto pro line package. Like, hey, we can put you in one of these things. We're going to be able to make you competitive right off the bat. Boost, you know, then NHRA introduces a boost restriction, a boost controller. Then it's different turbo sizes, and the boost limit goes from 40 something, I think, down to 31 pounds of boost at one point in time. And obviously that was an NHRA competition. And then you saw everybody just mass exodus. It was overnight. We saw none of those cars competing. Then on the heels of Mark Mickey kind of reinvigorating that combination, we started to see him come back. But I do think that it really is just, you've got to be able to either test and race a lot, and or have some sort of rocket scientist that's with you that can help manage that power. Because it's, I mean, you see, I mean, everybody that has one of these turbo cars, we've seen them fly at various points in time. They've gone somewhere and had a moonshot run. And we saw, I mean, I feel like back at the Yellow Bullet Nationals, I was really impressed with the amount of back-to-back-to-back great runs that Jimmy Taylor and Carl Stevens Jr. made. But you saw it bite them finally in the final.